Can anyone tell me what is going on with Destiny right now? In this video, I'm going to talk about PvP and stasis. It's a very serious video. I also have a list of 5 adjustments that I believe need to be made to stasis. So, PvP and stasis. What a mixture this has turned out to be. I know I'm not the only one who thinks PvP is broken right now in Destiny 2 Beyond Light, but Jesus, it's really busted. This is most certainly the worst Crucible has ever been. I know some of you will disagree and hate me on this, but nonetheless, it doesn't take away the fact that PvP is most definitely in the worst state it's ever been. Bungie have always tried to keep the balance between PvE and PvP, but they've really messed this one up. I know, they've been working from home and all that stuff. I mean, sure, but still, how did it get this bad? Did they not see what was happening? Did they not test it? Do they not see what is currently happening? Because it's fairly easy to see. I mean, don't get me wrong, stasis is great fun in PvE. In my opinion, it's a great addition and really takes away the monotony of the other subclasses. To be deadly honest, it's probably a little OP in PvE, but that's fine. It offers us, the players, the Guardians, an awesome power rush. That's what the game is all about. In other words, just leave stasis alone for PvE, please. In terms of PvP, as soon as you step into the Crucible, oh my lord, it's a joke. This is a very difficult thing to get used to. We're so used to the old light subclasses that when something like stasis comes along, it bends all the rules. It changes all the fundamentals of Crucible. It becomes hard to accept. There are very few players having a fun time when they're stepping into PvP. A large number of players are not even venturing into PvP. I honestly believe that stasis should have been eased into Crucible, maybe have a separate mode to start with, like Crucible Labs for instance, so that Bungie could test it out. They could have tweaked it wherever they needed to, balanced it out before releasing it into the wild. It's baffling that they didn't see this coming, and most significantly, the game. The game is suffering tremendously with this problem. Now, I realize that I am just criticizing and not really providing many solutions. Obviously, it is Bungie's responsibility to create the right balance and tweak stasis to be more in line with the other subclasses. But I would like to give a quick rundown of what I would change within stasis. So, here are what I believe to be the biggest 5 changes or tweaks that should be done to stasis. Number 1, freeze duration. By far, this is the most important change that Bungie have to make before anything else. The length that we stay frozen for. This is what I hate the most. The feeling of helplessness. You can't defend against it. It is the most infuriating and frustrating aspect of stasis in PvP. As soon as you get frozen, there's no escape. And if you do manage to break the ice and escape, you most definitely shouldn't be punished for it. Meaning they need to remove the damage received for escaping altogether. Also, if they reduce the length to even just 1 or 2 seconds, it would still be extremely viable as a resource in PvP, as it breaks the flow of movement. This is definitely the most significant change that needs to happen before anything else, in my opinion. Number 2, the Hunter stasis. I know they're already making changes to it, let me just say that. The truth is, it does definitely seem rather broken. The super lasts way too long and needs to be reduced by about 3 seconds. It has a very large area of effect which needs to either be reduced significantly or turned into just 1 spiral instead of 2. Then it travels around hunting down opposing guardians and it slows you down as soon as you enter its radius, making it impossible to evade. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? Imagine if the Warlock could throw 2 Nova Bombs that could chase you down. Everyone would most definitely say that's ridiculous. Plus, the Hunter has the Shatter Dive, which is a 1-hit kill, and most definitely extremely OP. And to top it all off, the Mask of Bakris, which allows the Hunter to teleport, or in other words, to OP blink long distance for excellent evasion. I mean, this all just sounds utterly ridiculous to me. Surely Bungie should know better, and obviously Hunters also have the same grenades, which are OP as hell themselves, and are exactly what we're going to talk about next on the list. Number 3, grenades. I will admit they aren't the worst. And the biggest problem is really how they tie into the number 1 on the list, which is the freeze duration. I think tweaking is very much required in terms of how effective grenades should be, as well, of course, the duration of freeze. Number 4, the Titan slide. Most definitely another big aspect of how OP the stasis slide now is for Titans. Lots of players spamming slide with shotguns, and in all honesty, I don't blame them. An easy adjustment is to simply implement a cooldown, much like we have on grenades and melee. Number 5. The Warlock melee and super. I honestly believe the adjustment Bungie had made initially to the Warlock to the melee was good, and I'm unsure as to why they decided to rebuff it again almost straight after nerfing it. As far as I'm concerned, it needs to go back again and have the range reduced. In terms of the super, the length of the super needs to be reduced, and the maneuverability in the air absolutely needs to be dialed down by 30 or 40%, in my opinion. That's all I've got. It's definitely about time that Bungie listen to what we're trying to tell them, or at least acknowledge that they are listening. They've gone very quiet, and they don't seem to be communicating with their community, which is a problem in itself. In reality, the vast majority of issues will disappear with the nerfing of freeze, as that will pose a knock-on effect to all the abilities in stasis. And as I really can't think of any other aspects of stasis that could do with some adjustment, let me know if you do have anything, or if you believe I've missed anything out. Put it in the comments, obviously. Thank you all for watching. I will speak to you all very soon. Goodbye.